Peace and blessings, family. This is your brother Yosef, and I'm back with another video. It's been a while for a video. I've been doing a lot of live streams, but I'm back to give you guys some more information and give you guys some more understanding. All right. So in this time, family, I want to talk about weaving time, shadow work 2.0. Weaving time, shadow work 2.0. Right. So this is this is shadow work on the next level up. All right. It's called weaving time, family. All right. And we're going to talk about this. All right. I actually talked about this last Sunday in my private network that I have for my tribal members. I talked about this briefly. We were talking about spider medicine, and we talked about this. This came up as far as weaving time. All right. So I want to share this information with you guys so you guys can understand how to do this. I want to talk about how to do it, but I got to get you to look at the whole picture first so you can really understand why you're doing this and, what is this thing really all about. All right. Before I start, I want to say that, we're okay. Me and my family is fine. I know that everybody has heard that there was a really bad storm yesterday evening in Houston, Texas. It was downtown got hit pretty bad. Me and my family, we heard a lot of the rain and the wind, but for the most part, it came and went in 30 minutes. It definitely sounded like hurricane force winds, right? But me and my family safe. That's why it's good to have protection around your house. A few people got trees on their house and knocked in their house and branches, and there were some windows blown out downtown. But overall, family, everybody's safe and sound. A lot of the damage was done more closer to downtown. So me and my family are safe, family. So thank you guys who emailed me and texted me and asked me. Well, we're doing good. We're doing great. So I wanted to say that, family. Also, I want to let you guys know we have a online event coming up called the Buddha Force, which is going to be happening on June 8th. All right. The link will be below the video. You guys can sign up there, and it's going to be some next level, very powerful information. I mean, have I ever failed you guys? Right? I've given you guys good information, and I'm going to continue to give you guys information. And I want to say thank you to everybody who's been on this channel, New Life Tools, for the past 6 years. Right? You guys have been rocking with Brother Yosef for the past 6 years, family. And I want to say thank you. I can't believe it's been 6 years. Let me see. Yeah, about 6 years. So I want to say thank you to you guys for rocking with me. A lot of you guys have been here from the beginning. I never even suspected to have this many subscribers, but thank you guys. I'm glad you guys enjoy the knowledge and information. All right, so I want to make sure I say that as well. Thank you guys very much. All right. So let's get into this, family. This is a very interesting topic. This is something I think on your spiritual path. I don't think I know. On your spiritual path, you're gonna have to understand this because this can help you. A lot of you guys work in shadow work, right? And some of you guys need to go a little bit deeper with your shadow work. And this is a technique that will help you go a little bit deeper with the shadow work. Okay. One of the issues I think why people suffer on this planet, family, and one of the issues people have constantly on this planet. Let me turn my phone down because I start getting a bunch of phone calls and text messages. You know what I mean? Right when I'm about to do my thing. You know what I mean? So let me just turn this off, family. Or let me mute it for a second. So, without a shadow of a doubt, family, one of the things I noticed that people do is too many people accept their reality as what it is. Too many people give up on life. Too many people accept reality for just what it is. And what I mean by that is I'm talking about your own personal life. Too many people accept the fact that they'll never have money. Too many people just accept the fact that they'll never find true love. Too many people accept the fact that, they'll never be happy. They just accept life for what it gave them, right? And what people don't understand is that there's a technique that exists called leaving time that can change your fate, right? That can change your fate, and we're going to get into that. And this right here is a very powerful thing I want people to know, right? And it's all in the mind, family, right? It's all in the mind. It's very important to understand this because at the end of the day, family, life is about what you make it, okay? Without a shadow of a doubt, life is what you make it. If you accept life for what it is, that's what you get. If you are determined that you're going to change your life for the better and you're going to do better, that's exactly what's going to happen. All right. And we need to understand these things because I talk to a lot of people in consultations and too many people give up too fast. Right. Too many people give up too fast. You got flies out here from the fruit I've been eating. But too many people give up too fast, family. All right. And we need to not give up so fast. We don't need to give up at all. Right. Life is about learning the lessons. It's not about giving up. Right? If you have to push on a certain part of your life harder than other people, it's because you most likely made a lot of mistakes in your past life. So you have to learn a very hard lesson more than other people, right? And then what you're struggling with, it's almost like it comes easy to, it comes easy to you or to that person, right? It's almost like it comes easy to that person. And what we want to do is make sure that we're moving in life accordingly and making the best decisions that we can make, family, so we can have the best outcome, right? So you perceive reality for what it is, right? And too many people don't understand that very simple concept right there. What you say it is, what you feel it is what it will be, right? When you're trying to manifest, what is the thing they tell you to do? They tell you, feel it, see it. And it's really that simple, right? It's really that simple, family, all right? Now, I want to talk about fate, right? So what is fate? I just a few not so long ago on here, I said, hey, you can change your fate. What is fate, right? Fate is a development of events that are determined by a supernatural force. I'll say that again. Fate is a development of events that are determined by a supernatural force. That supernatural force is really you, family. You can call it God. You can call it your higher self. You chose your own fate. You chose your fate when you came here. You determined that whatever you believe is will be. You determine your fate. But the beautiful thing about fate is that it's just like a web. It can be weaved. It can be changed, right? A new thread can be added to fate. You guys know about the three sisters, the three fate sisters. You guys who study mythology, you guys understand that concept, right? You guys understand that, right? So your fate is determined by a higher level supernatural force. Now, what is destiny? Because you guys need to understand these things. When you deal with destiny, which is the end result, right? Something you're supposed to do. You have to understand destiny like this. There's a negative aspect to your destiny. I like to call it the false destiny. Then you have your true destiny, which is more of a positive aspects, right? Some people may say they're both destiny. So what I'm saying, family, is that there's a part of your life where you don't become wealthy. There's a part of your life where your finances never get better. There's a part of your life where you never get the love life you want. There's a part of your life where you're never happy, right? There's a destiny towards that. Right? And that can become your fate, right? You start to live out those events in your life and it becomes your destiny, right? You may be destined to have nothing, to never fall in love, to never have money, to never be happy. Some people, that's their destiny right now because they chose the negative aspect of their destiny. Then you have your true destiny. What I mean by true destiny, family, is the part of your destiny that is everything you need, everything you want. Everything you desire. The problem with that, family, is a lot of people really don't know what they want sometimes in life. A lot of people really don't want. It takes them lifetimes to really fulfill their destiny. So they constantly make the wrong decisions and constantly die in many lifetimes making the wrong decisions and creating more karma and walking the false destiny. People do that all the time. Your true destiny is happiness. Your true destiny is wealth. Your true destiny is prosperity. That's your true destiny. Everybody on the planet deserves that. The problem is, it takes lifetimes, many, many lifetimes, for some people to achieve this, right? But at the same time, it's your choice. So when young souls come here, they get a lot of karma because they start making a lot of bad decisions. They're impulsive, right? You can always tell a young soul they're impulsive. They don't like to hear no. They don't like to admit when they're wrong. They don't accept anything. It's wow. Life should happen the way they think in their head, right? So let me give you an example. If a person's a thief and they steal from somebody, they just expect for that person to forgive them and then they move on, and there's no karma involved in that. No, a person could forgive you, but without a shadow of a doubt, family, you're still going to deal with the consequences for stealing. You're going to deal with those consequences, you know? And that's the part where people don't think about. They don't think about the consequences. And when a person don't think about consequences, that's a childlike mind. Because children don't understand the concept of consequence. That's why children make decisions. So I know a young soul when I see it. I don't care how old you are. You could be older than me and still making the same mistakes over and over and over and over. It's because you refuse to grow up. You refuse to make a better choice in life. You choose to be exactly where you are. A lot of people that say, hey, I don't want to suffer. I don't like pain. Then why you keep making the same decision? And then you tell them, hey, but you made a decision. The first thing they say is, I know. That's what everybody says. You know, everybody says, I know. Yeah, when you finally catch them and say, but you chose it, they be like, I know. See, they know. They just don't like to look at it until somebody else shows them. You don't need a reading for that. You know you stole. You know you robbed somebody. You know you hurt somebody. You know you knocked somebody over the head. You know you was talking about that person. You know these things. Right? You know these things, family. This is important to understand. This is very important to understand. We know these things, right? So, if we know these things, why do we keep doing the same thing over and over? You haven't grown up yet, spiritually. You believe and think life should work the way you want it to work with no consequences. And I'm sorry, but life doesn't work like that. Life just doesn't work like that, family. All right? So your destiny has two parts. You have a negative aspect to your destiny, and you have a positive aspect to your destiny, family. All right? You have a positive aspect to your destiny. When you choose the positive aspect, you can choose your positive aspect of your destiny even while you're walking through the negative part. Today can be the day that you decide you're going to be different. Today could be the day that you decide, I'm going to work towards being happy. I'm going to work towards being a better person so I can be better for a future mate. It ain't that it's bad people out there. People love to blame the other person. If you can't find the wife you want, if you can't find the husband you want, right? It's you. It's not them. You know what I'm saying? You're making a bad decision, family. Right? You're not picking the right people. And some people like to pick people based on comfortability. Some people are intimidated by other people. Sometimes you need to challenge yourself. If you've been picking the same type of person based off the same principles, you need to change your principles. And a lot of times, men and women, they do this because they don't value themselves. They don't value themselves. We want to start valuing ourselves. We want to decide today that I'm going to value myself. I'm going to be the perfect man for a wife in the future. I'm going to be a perfect woman for a husband in the future. Or whatever you choose. I'm going to be the perfect mate for somebody. And you can only do that by having self-love. You have to learn how to love yourself by accepting yourself as who you are. By accepting and being honest with yourself. That's really what true love is. It's being honest with yourself. I'll say that again in case you missed what I said. True love, truly love yourself, is to be honest with yourself. Look at your flaws and say, I know this is wrong with me. I'm going to fix it. I know this is not right at me. I'm going to take my time and fix it. That's what you need to do, family. These are the important, and I'm harping on this because I want people to understand, right? So, now that we understand that what fate is, right? All these events that take place that's pushed forward by a supernatural force, and now that we understand that destiny is something that how things turn out, it's what really supposed to happen, our destiny, right? But we understand now we have a false destiny and a true destiny. How do we weave time, right? Before I tell you guys that, I want to tell you guys a story, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have heard this story before. It's not about me. The brother that plays Forrest Bubba in Forrest Gump, I think his name was Michael Williams or something like that. He plays Bubba in Forrest Gump, the guy with the lip and all that stuff. He plays Bubba in Forrest Gump. He recently told a story, I think a few months ago, maybe a year ago, something like that. He told it, I think it was like 6-7 months ago. He told a story about one time his mother told him that one of his childhood friends came looking for him. And this childhood friend of his was no good. He was always getting him out of trouble. He wouldn't listen. He was always robbing, doing the wrong thing in life, and was always in trouble. And one particular day, his mom called him over. I think this is how the story went. His mom called him over and said, hey, such and such came looking for you, but he had these black eyes. His eyes are all black. And his mom said she saw death on him. She was looking for him. And he later found out later that day that his friend died. His mother told him that his friend was under a spell trying to change how his destiny was going to happen. Trying to change his fate. He was trying to change his fate, right? And while he was trying to change his fate, family, what his friend was trying to do, he had a hoodoo spell on him. That hoodoo spell really exists, by the way. I'm going to let you guys know that. It really exists. He was trying to change his fate by finding his friend and switching the energy with him. So his friend would die and not him. So death would go after his friend and not him. He can continue to do all the negative stuff he was doing. Yeah, some people really live like this. They'd rather somebody else take the rap for them. They never want to take accountability, right? So his friend couldn't find him. He couldn't find Bubba, right? So he ended up dying, right? Death followed him, and death, it took him out. So I'm bringing this story up because that's a real deal spell in hoodoo that does exist, where somebody can actually take you and change their fate by taking yours. If you have a positive end result in your life, and you're supposed to be wealthy and famous, somebody can steal that from you and give you their destiny. They can do that to you, family. All right? So be careful who you trust. Keep negative and jealous friends away from you, family. Because if somebody doesn't want to see you prosper, you got to keep them people away from you. Don't be helping negative friends. See, if he would have cut that guy off a long time ago, when he was negative, he would have never even been looking for him. If you're on a path of spirituality, I recommend that you really cut out all your negative friends. Or people who don't mean you no well. You have to do that, family, in order to survive and move forward correctly, all right? So I wanted to share that story. You guys can go look it up. It was very interesting because it's something that can really happen. Now, he also said in the story that while his friend actually called him, I think after he died, his friend called him and was saying, hey, these people are trying to get me. Don't let them get me, and help me, help me, help me. He called the phone from the spirit world. Okay? From the spirit world. And apparently he was going through what they call a hell state, right? I personally been to hell states and seen people get murdered over and over and over and over. It happens. I remember one time I was in this tree house, right? I was in this tree house talking to this guy. I don't remember what I was talking to him about. And I was in a hell state. It was cold and dark outside. And as I look over and look down on the street, I seen this guy get shot in the head, in the astral plane. And he died. He disappeared. And I seen the guy walking down the street again to the same corner, looking at his cell phone, looking around. Somebody walked behind him and shot him in the head again. It kept happening over and over and over to this person, right? Crazy. It's stuff like that really happens, y'all. But so let's talk about weaving time, okay? Just wanted to warn you guys and let you guys know how it goes. Weaving time. How do you weave time? I'm going to tell you guys very simply. Weaving time has everything to do with your fates. Take a traumatic event that changed your life forever. Say you were raped. Say you were abused. Maybe you had a father that beat on you, a mother that beat on you, right? This is hard, y'all. This ain't easy to do. It's very hard because it takes forgiveness. It also takes you taking your emotion out of it, right? Go back to that point in time when you were hurt. After it happens, I want you to go to that part of yourself and comfort them and tell them, hey, it's going to be better in the future. And then I want you to look at that situation. I want you to forgive that person, right? You have a choice. You can forgive that person, or you can cut off the emotion from that thing so it never affects your life. Because some people, the fact that they were raped when they were young, the fact that they were physically abused, verbally talked down on, it affects them negatively throughout their life. So what happens is when somebody causes trauma on you as a child, it creates a negative roll of events that start to happen in your life, right? Maybe you grew up and you don't know how to talk to people disrespectfully. You constantly talk to people disrespectfully because of something that happened to you in your life. You have to look at that event and you have to feel differently about it. You can't let it affect you. You have to, at that moment, decide, I'm leaving it here. I'm not going to be a victim anymore. What happened to me, I'm going to leave it right here, right? Even if it happened over and over, pick an event. It's hard because nobody wants to go back and look at these things. But go look at that place, family, and you have to make a choice. I didn't say choices were easy to make. This is how you weave time, though. This is how you weave time. You have to make a choice and say, hey, I'm going to feel differently about this. It never affected me in my life. You have to convince yourself when you look at that moment in time that that time happened, but it never affected me in my life. You have to convince yourself. And you can't feel no other way about it. Now, you may have to go do this over and over and over, but the moment that you decide and you make a choice that this event in my life, this abuse that I received in my life, this trauma I received in my life, is not going to affect me for the rest of my life. Matter of fact, you have to tell yourself it hasn't affected me. When you can accept that, something happens in the ripples of time. You're not the whole traumatic thing that happened with multiple people, it kind of slowly disappears. The multiple issues you got into in life because of your trauma, the arguments, the bad relationships, all these things start to disappear. You literally are doing what they call weaving time. You're weaving a new thread for yourself. You can go back and time travel in your mind and do this, family. It's called weaving time. Once again, go back to the event that happened. Make a choice to look at it differently. I don't care what happened. I know it hurt. I know it's painful. Forgive that person. Really forgive them. And by that, I mean let it go. That may be hard for a lot of people. Or convince yourself that this point in my life never happened. Convince yourself that this point in my life, it never affected me in a negative way. It happened, and I'll leave it there at that moment. And I'm not going to go back and look at it. I'm not going to blame this person anymore. I'm going to let the universe deal with it. I'm going to let their higher self deal with them. I'm not going to let what they did to me affect me for the rest of my life. I'm going to choose to make a different choice, and I'm going to be better. I'm going to be, I command that I'm healed from this thing. Once you do that, and you, not just saying it, family, once you really convince your subconscious mind that this does not affect you anymore, something happens in the ripples of time. It's almost like things in your life will become erased. I've known a few people that I've given this practice to, and I've seen it change their life. Only 2 people I've seen who really went through it, and of course I talk to people that say, "Oh, I tried it, and I'm trying," right? And some people are still trying to this day. But 2 people I know of, I've seen a change in their life. They've totally turned things around in their life, all from weaving time. All right. So I wanted to give you guys that practice. I like to call it Shadow Work 2.0. It's a very powerful practice, family. I recommend you guys doing it and watching your life transform. This is how you weave time, family. Going back and changing the fate of what happened by changing the way you feel about it. When you change the way you feel about it, all those events that occurred, they start to disappear, and a new thread is created in your reality. Weaving time, family. This is Brother Yosef. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Once again, if you want to follow my Patreon, the link is below. The Buddha Force lecture link is below. And I thank you guys for watching me. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace and blessings, family. Peace and blessings.